Welcome to Civilization Jihad Awareness, the show where truth wins every time. Wow. Um, we have an outstanding guest today, and I'm not sure if she's here. If you're here and you're my guest, please press 1. Um, Let me just talk about where that term civilization jihad comes from, because it's not something I created. It is a term created by the Muslim Brotherhood of North America. And let me get to that. This particular phrase, civilization jihad, came as a result of a Maryland transit officer observing a woman in a burqa taking pictures of the support structure for the Chesapeake Bay Bridge. The officer watched as she got in a car with a man who was driving. The officer considered the behavior suspicious, did a standard traffic stop, and Ismail Abrace, the woman's husband, handed his ID to the officer. When he verified the information, a flag came up on Elbrace as he was wanted by the FBI for questioning. The event provided enough evidence to get a search warrant for his house. Federal officers discovered a hidden sub-basement with 93 bankers' boxes of documents from the Muslim Brotherhood in North America. Among these, one stands out, the explanatory memorandum. Now, I'm just going to read one paragraph from this document that was used in the largest terrorism financing trial ever in the United States. It's this one paragraph that starts with this heading: Understanding the Role of the Muslim Brotherhood in North America. The process of settlement is a civilization jihadist process with all the word means. The Ikhwan must understand that their work in America is a kind of grand jihad in eliminating and destroying the Western civilization from within and sabotaging its miserable house by their hands and the hands of the believers, so that it is eliminated and God's religion is made victorious over all other religions. Without this level of understanding, we are not up to this challenge and have not prepared ourselves for jihad yet. It is a Muslim's destiny to perform jihad and work wherever he is and wherever he lands until the final hour comes, and there is no escape from that destiny except for those who choose to slack. But would the slackers and the mujahideen be equal? So again, it's not something I created. It's a terminology created by the Muslim Brotherhood to describe their war against us. Scary stuff. And I'm going to try and see if I can call her, because I don't see her in the room. Okay. And something. Okay, that's done. Okay. I'm going to try her phone number that I have, and we'll see if this works. Especially good if I get the correct number into the machine, correct? And that's just me not getting the right phone number in. It's not a cool thing. Get this done. Try this. Okay. And we'll try and see what happens. And let me tell you, the person I'm trying to invite into the room is one incredible lady. Hello, this is Paul Sutliff with Civilization Jihad Awareness.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I want to do a quick intro, and we'll get right into it. I can get my document up here where I have all the. Here we go. Where did I put everything? The joy of getting everything. Okay. Rabia Kazan is an award-winning activist, former Muslim, and the president of the Middle Eastern Women's Coalition. Rabia became part of the National Diversity Coalition for Trump in 2015 when she heard him speak on radical Islam. Rabia is also a talented writer whose undercover work in Iran is incredible. And we'll see if we have time for that, because I think I don't want to get into it, because I think it might bring tears to her because of the amount of how important it was and what it ended up doing. But Rabia, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
I was reading your bio yesterday, and I became impressed on the amount of fight within you for what is right and just. Would you please tell our listeners what brought you into the fight for women's rights in the Middle East?
Yeah, 2007, I went to Iran and I witnessed incredible tragedy and things happening to women. And I witnessed little girls being sold into sexual slavery, and the women are suffering. And Iran is actually changed my mind, and I left Islam in Iran. Then, since there, 2007, I became a warrior and a fighter against Sharia law, and I am fighting for women's rights and against child marriages, honor killing, and genital mutilation. Actually, Iran changed me. Iran, the trip that I went in Iran, changed my life. That I lived in Iran.
And you were previously from Turkey, correct?
Yes.
And you didn't see. I'm taking it you didn't see this in Turkey either.
No, I actually Turkey is like Turkey is we we can say that secular, but it's not secular anymore because Turkey is Islamic country, but it's not secular. We had a Sharia law, it was almost half half, but it wasn't that I like in Iran. It's going to be right now, unfortunately, but 12 years ago that wasn't like Iran. But
That's
right
all
now it
before
is pretty much like Iran right now.
Erdogan really got into power. I think he was he in power 12 years ago? I think he was just coming into power
That
12 years
wasn't
ago.
just the common. It was only beginning. That was only beginning. That man came and he just claimed nothing is gonna change. He claimed that he was going to be only moderate Muslim a leader, but it wasn't like that. He was very Islamic, and he just took the country and brought the Islamic country right now. With Islamization in Turkey, it's just got serious, and here we hear right now. We are one step away to Sharia law and Islamic regime in Turkey.
Wow. I'm a teacher, so that's real interesting because we have to teach about Ataturk and the importance of turning Turkey into turning Turkey into a secular nation, and now we're going to be changing that and talking about it going backwards, which is kind of interesting.
Exactly.
Yeah. I know you said you wore a hijab from the age of 7, and is there a specific reason this age was picked for you to start wearing a hijab?
That was just amazing because my mom forced me to wear the hijab when I was 7. And when I go to school, I always was trying to take my hijab off. And it was one day my mom caught me without the hijab because I was hiding my hijab. Then I lost my hijab. I was pretending like a whole day I was wearing the hijab, but it was a lie. I was just putting in my purse. Then one day I lost my hijab. Then my mom beat me so hard. Then he just told me that hijab is very important as a Muslim woman. I didn't have no idea, but this is maybe the first time that I'm meeting in Islam that was all violence, just from my mother, and like how I have to be obeyed, because I was the girl of Muhammad, and that I had to cover my face, and because I knew that I don't have a right like the man has. That I was only 7 years old when I met the rule of Islam, this Islamic dress code.
Do you consider the hijab the initiator of teaching girls they're not as important or not the same as men?
Yes, it's yeah, we can say that, but as also I can tell, it's just showing that like we are kind of slaves, and I think to me the hijab is represents slavery, and that's because you have to cover it because you are the second citizen, you don't have a right, and you just your mission just make the men happy, and you have to protect yourself, protect your feminine female look. That's because only you can show your husband, and this is of course this is one of the things that that the woman and slave in Islam. That was just a part of the clue of the slavery for me.
Wow. Consider you share about the hijabs. I'm kind of amazed. There's a couple stories this week about hijabs in the news, and Austria's made it illegal for schoolgirls under the age of 14 to wear hijabs. Well, just across the border in Germany, principals are telling young girls to put hijabs on for their own safety. What do you think of that?
This is, isn't it some dilemma? I just wanted to congratulate Austria's decision but because definitely hijab, it's not a freedom. Hijab, it's not protection. Hijab is hijab to me actually, yes, hijab, it's a symbol of the slavery and symbol of Islamic slavery. And I think actually I wish that all Europe and United States had that rule, because we have to just save these girls. They don't have no idea, and they being forced to use it like I did. And to me, it's not a freedom. This is just the slavery.
I was talking to your partner yesterday, and I really want to get you ladies to talk to address the quote national hijab day that's going around to public schools. I know in the school district where I work, they announce it and they encourage teachers to take part in this, but I say what I can, and it's never going to go too far because, first of all, they won't accept what I'm saying because I'm not a woman. So to me, it's really important that you keep this fight up, and I'm going to find a way to connect you to as many school districts as I can.
We not only fight up, like you have no idea. So many women are died for that, because so many women activists in Middle East, in Iran, they just get killed and they die. They because they were fighting against Islamic dress code, hijab. But you know that this is obligation in the Sharia law in Islamic countries who have Sharia law, and you have to cover your hair. If anyone not obey this rule, they're just being punished. Sometimes they're very heavy. They just putting in the jail woman, and they rape the girls over there, and then they just like kill the people. They kill women. That's why it's very important today. Unfortunately, people are thinking Middle Eastern women are willing to wear hijab, but this is wrong. 90% of women, Muslim women, they don't want to use hijab, but they have to, because sometimes it's cultural, because of the pressure and because of obligation. In here, United States, when I see the woman has hijab, actually I am very disappointed, because I know hundreds of women are dying to have to write the free hijab, but they don't. But here in the free country, women are promoting this hijab law, and they are also promoting Sharia law. It's very saddens me, and actually I am shame on them than who promoting hijab in this country and in Europe, because we don't want it, actually.
I just want to make one thing clear. I want you to address: can a woman's hair be seen at all, like a stray hair, like I mean, because we see all these commercials. They're putting women with hijabs on. They're showing a little bit of their hair. You know, it's trying to make it look stylish. Is that acceptable under Sharia?
Yeah, it's this is how can I explain it to you? First of all, it's women have to cover their hair. This is the Sharia law. It's but at the same time over here, we see that some women, they cover their head, but they don't want it actually. And here, some women, they're doing that willingly, but other women is just because their family, because the society they in. But I believe women in Europe and in the United States, uh, they promoting headscarf, and they doing that because of they believe that they don't this, they do that because I don't think they like to do that and they believe to do that. They just doing it because the interest. I believe that so many women are that just like they have some connection with the groups, and maybe they get paid, but they have an agenda and they promote Sharia law. This is the symbol of the Sharia law. It's not the symbol of the freedom.
That's very important to say. And Ms. Kazan, you do a lot more than deal with this small issue. Um, you're working on issues like honor killings, child sex slavery, female genitalia, and more. Can you tell us more about what Middle East women are Middle East Women's Coalition are doing for this? Doing to help stop this and bring awareness.
Yes, because whole world blind eye to us. Whole world ignore our pain. We are suffering, and what else they need? What proof they need? How much proof those people are need? Because we're being sold, we're being raped, everything. Like one of the things, honor killing. The little girls, they being killed by the family because of the honor killing. Like if they are going to the out with the boyfriend, or even if they are being raped by with somebody, but they have to die because this is our mistake. Everything in the Middle East, everything in Sharia law and Islam against us. But here and in Europe, like unfortunately, because of political correction, you're not going to hear it. You're just thinking, oh, women are happy. They believe in Islam. They love this. They love to be like that. Who wants to be? Who wants to be slave? Who wants to get punished by that? Who wants to? Who wants to like the stoned? Uh, Nobody, believe me. But what we are doing, we are speak out against genital mutilation because they genitally mutilate us even we are like 6 months baby and a 2 years old, 1 years old baby. They don't have no idea, but they have to, they face the genital mutilation. That's because why? Men in Islam, they don't want us to even sexual satisfaction for us because we don't have even right to enjoy the being a woman. We don't have a right. And honor killing, as I told you that if the girls have, if they have a boyfriend, they have to go out, and if something happened to them, yes, they're being punished by the death. And Islamic dress code, the same thing, they're being punished. Everything. We don't have no rights. And the simple rights like we can just the American women have and European women have, but everything like they enjoy their freedom, we don't have. What we are doing right now, this is a revelation. I know it's not easy, but we started to speak out, and we say that no, we cannot tolerate any longer. That's why we came out and we just said all together, ending against those crime against humanity, because this is a crime, and whole world are watching, and they're quiet, they silent. That's why I'm trying to break our silence. We did, and thank you so much. And you sharing my voice. This is not my voice. This is the voice of voices. Millions of women. We've been treated worse than animals, brother. Just has to end. And that's why I'm here. I put my life in danger. Every day I'm being attacked. My members, we are receiving death threats, a lot of insult. But we're not going to stop. We're just going to expose Sharia law and Islamic regime. And we're going to say stop. Because enough is enough.
For all that you're doing, what surprises you the most about the ignorance, the cluelessness of people here in the United States to what I've come to learn is actually Islamic gender apartheid? What surprises you the most?
The American people, they're so they have a lot, they're very compassionate people, but unfortunately, they don't have no idea. That's why my coalition actively try and devote themselves members to educate American people first of Sharia law, and because it's very sad. Like when we're going to the universities, campuses, and we're just saying that this is happening to us. Do you know anything about Sharia law? Because they were thinking this is a culture, it's a religion, it's a peace. Nobody knows. Nobody knows because the truth has been hidden from the American people, from the world. It's 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 amazing. That's why we are just trying to educate people of Sharia law.
I see this as drastically important. Just to again to say that my day job, I'm a teacher, and what they're telling people in what it's in textbooks now is scary because they're basically hinting that this is all culture, like you said, and they're not talking about what Sharia law. They'll talk about some of the harshness in textbooks, but they don't talk about the cruelties and how it they actually say in textbooks that it gives women more rights in the
Oh
United
my
States. That's
God.
what yeah.
Oh my
So
God. Yeah.
so I actually have been writing some textbook reviews and trashing some textbooks, but this is the scary thing. I mean, we need. That's why, for me, it's extremely important as an educator and as a Christian that we need your voice out there. That we've got to stop these lies. And I again, oh, the one thing I should tell everybody, Middle Eastern Women's Coalition is a not a when I went to go look at the site, I thought maybe 3 people in leadership. No, there was. I think there's about 20 different faces that you can look at as leadership.
It's
Is
more
that
than
correct?
that. It's more than
Wow.
that right now. We're almost to 50, almost going to every day. Women are joining us and actively in advisory boards, and also the people are joining us. And they said, yes, it's you are right, and it's gonna be more big because I'm hoping that internationally, who have a little little heart and the soul that because we are human beings. One day everyone is going to leave this life. This is just temporary. But I believe that we have to make changes. This is the first primary issue, the woman issue in the world, Middle Eastern woman, and because whole woman is just fighting for the equal salary or something like that. We are just fighting to stop rape, and we're just fighting a little girls. We're talking about 7 years old girls being sold into sexual slavery under the child bride. And the people are just saying it's a culture. Excuse me? Do you think it's a culture? I mean, 7 years old girl. This is Sharia law and allows the girls and little babies almost, 7, 8, 9. This is it's very common, and it's like nobody even talk about it. And that's why I'm so glad, men like you, sir. I am so happy and honored that you're giving us voice. That's why. I mean, it's like nobody's talking because they act like we are not exist, but we are exist, and we not tolerate any longer.
That to me is the most important. That your voice has to be heard, and if I could give it a megaphone every day, I would. Um, we've got to get more places for you to go. And I'm spoiled in this situation because I didn't know about you, and a lady from LinkedIn, Marie Hembry, who's an investigative journalist, she connected with me and told me we've been talking back and forth. She says you need to connect with with Rabia, and you need to talk to her and see if you can get people get Rob and have her join your show. You need to get these people on your show. And she sent me a video of the event that happened. I don't know when that happened, where you were talking about the reasons for I believe it was you were behind Mr. President Trump for actions he had taken. No, you were calling for the removal of Representative Ilhan Omar. So
Exactly.
hard. It's
We're
so
still
hard to
doing it.
call her
We
a
are just going
congresswoman.
to, we still continue to rally against Ilhan Omar because we believe that, like, she's a Muslim woman, but she never talk about Sharia law. She never talk about child marriages. She never gonna talk about genital mutilation. She never gonna talk honor killing because her heart with Sharia law. We believe that, and she's the one also. She's promoting this with hijab because it's very sad in us. That's why we believe that she's not fit the Congress. That's why we were protesting again, and we were just calling her resignation. We will continue to do that. It's because we believe that if she's a woman, Muslim woman, why she's not talking about it in Women's Day, and she never talk about how the women treated in Somalia, how Muslim women are treated, but she is just promoting Muslim women, like Islamic regime. This is sad in us because she is the one taking our hope away because we don't have any hope because they're gonna tell us, look at this, United States has a congresswoman, we don't have a right anymore to talk about it in the Middle East. This woman encourages other side, encourages Sharia law mind people, and encourages Muslim Brotherhood. It encourages a lot of radical Islamist people, not us. She's not giving any courage. She's not giving any hope to us. She's not representing us, but she represents the other side who wants us to be slaves.
It's interesting. The two Talib and her. One wears the hijab, one doesn't. One says she absolutely must, but the other
Yes,
doesn't.
that's why,
Yet,
like what she does, she represents hijab. But since she became a congresswoman, every time when I see her, oh, it's like a promotion. She promotes hijab, and hijab is not for women. It's not freedom of women. Absolutely, it's not. And so many women are suffering and fighting against hijab in Middle East. But she's here to promoting slavery, and she's here to say that yes, this is good. This obligation is gonna last forever. We're trying to end this obligation, dress code in Islam, but she's the one. She's promoting it. I shame on her.
yes, thank you. What happened at this event that I know you had something happen at the event that was kind of unusual. You had some unexpected guests.
Yes, some pink card members, they came to my conference and yes, they interrupted it. But it's so funny. That's because at the end, that woman was saying to me that you don't have a right because you didn't born in this country. Maybe you watched it.
I watched. I didn't catch that. What got me though, when I started laughing at is when I started laughing at the point where we have you. This is I have to tell everybody that they had it was a police officer from the capital there, and he threatened the women who were causing this disruption to begin with. To if they didn't leave, he was going to place them under arrest. So they got up and left. There was one woman who stayed, and to me, this is where I started laughing. Was it you that was up on the stage and started? I think you were at the podium and you start talking about the things that the reason why you're standing behind President Trump because she's there, that he's for women's rights, and she starts going nuts the minute you mention Trump, and it made me laugh that all the women in the room started chanting the one thing that drove that woman nuts. It was Trump, Trump, Trump. And I mean, it was like all the women in the room all of a sudden knew what would drive her insane. And I was in the middle of something, so I couldn't finish at the time, but I was just amazed. Yeah, these people don't they came here for disruption, and they didn't want to listen to anything. That's this
No,
it's it's frustrating because I mean I'll go
they
out and
they didn't
I
they
deal
didn't
with
want to hear
Antifa.
anything. They didn't want to hear anything. They're not going to hear because they don't want to hear the truth what we speak.
Yeah,
But it's
and
Lord is very good to us. That video just being watched almost 3 million times.
oh
It's
wow.
like that's um that's why right now the people are hearing our voice because we stand with Israel and we fight against anti-Semitism. That what the and we were just calling the Ilhan Omar to resign immediately.
It's really important we get your voice out there. I'm going to see if I can connect your group with a bunch of other people that I'm working with. I think
I'll be
we need to
appreciate
get
that.
your
Thank
voice
you.
into the world of education. And I'm going to try and connect you with a couple of people that may do a better job at that than I can. But I can't tell you
Thank you so
how
much. Any
important this
little
work
thing
is.
helps.
Yeah.
This is very important. Like at the same time, that whole world ignore our pain, and people like you, uh, like helping us, it's a big thing for me. I am so appreciate that, and like anything, like a little help, a little place, just please just connect us. And I want to call if any, if they hear my voice, please go to Middle Eastern Women's Coalition.com and share our videos. We don't like these things. My coalition, we're not asking money. Actually, we want awareness and we want attention because so many organizations they ask money and they don't nothing. Because how are we going to change? How are we going to fight against Sharia law with money? No, we want voice. So, but they can do us for us. They can share our voice on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. They can just talk about it. They can just, tag us and just talk about our issue. They have to break their silence. This is what we need. That's why any little thing helps to us. Thank you.
I got one question from the chat room. It's about one of the qualifications. When I introduced you, they wanted to know Cal wants to know what's National Diversity Coalition.
I joined the National Diversity Coalition 2015, and because the day I heard the voice that President Trump was saying that he is going to fight against ISIS and he is going to ban Muslims until they figured out what's going on in the Middle East. He did it. He just that's the day I wouldn't have any the political view because I'm an activist, but I believe that the first time President Trump is going to fight against radical Islam because he was talking boldly. Then I joined the Diversity Coalition, and the Pastor Darrell Scott is the CEO, and I was just representing Middle Eastern women. We were just showing our diversity and supporting President Trump. And my issue is absolutely stop radical Islam. That's why I believe that.
Does the National Diversity Coalition have a website also?
Yes, a website. But I just resigned this month because I was very busy. But absolutely, my heart's still in there. But I couldn't catch up with so many the meetings that I just a couple of weeks ago that I had to resign because I didn't catch up. Middle Eastern Women's Coalition was very we have a lot of schedules going on. But I'm still supporting President Trump.
You should know that one of the people who's asking questions is from Canada, and she's impressed that we would have something like that, a National Diversity Coalition, and I believe it was in support of Trump, right? It wasn't
Yes.
necessarily it was more like a political group rather than just a group of people that got together, correct?
Yeah, it's like that was just a name, like Diversity Coalition, because the President Trump was accusing by as a racist, but we were just saying that, like, look, we are here, all the nationality and all the views, and we are supporting this president because we believe that he was influencing the world. When your president, the president of the United States, against radical Islam, we believe that radical Islam has to change because of the world going to hear it. But before, it wasn't like that.
This is important. I'm really hope that we can get your voice out there. I'm going to do everything I can to promote
Amen.
it.
Amen. I'll be appreciated.
Yeah. I want to say thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
We got to get people out to your site. Sign up. Spread the word, people. This is an extremely important group, Middle East Women's Coalition, and this is Rabia Kazan. Thank you very much for joining us. God bless you.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much. God bless you, brother.
Wow.